Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, you guys, I'm going to be making a easy, you don't have to use your muscles today, ciabatta bread. It's going to be yummy, delicious. The only thing that's going to take time is the hours that you wait. So let's get your aprons on and let's get to working. So come on in so I can show you what you're going to be needing for this recipe. Here's what you're going to need for this recipe. 2 teaspoons of yeast, 1/2 teaspoon of sugar, as well as 2 teaspoons of salt, 3 cups of warm water, and right here I have 1/4 cup of white wheat flour, as well as 5 cups of flour. Now the reason why I added a little bit of wheat flour, because it binds the gluten really nice. So let me show you the first step in what you're gonna do. Now that we have all our ingredients for this delicious ciabatta bread, you're gonna wanna take like a wooden spoon or something that's sturdy to stir it. Whoa, that noise was my oven. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pour your warm water into a large bowl. And you need a large bowl because that way all of your ingredients are going to expand. So now I'm going to place my yeast as well as my sugar in there. And I'm just gonna give that a quick mix. And I'm going to pour all of my flour into the bowl at once. That's why I'm telling you guys, it's a pretty simple recipe. The only thing is it's going to take a lot of time. And now this is when I put my salt on top. And this is the most muscle you're gonna use right here, is mixing it and combining it together. You want to make sure all of your water with all of your flour gets incorporated really well. See, because I see how there's still a little bit of water underneath. I'm going to take it and turn it. Take it and flip it with my spoon. And that's pretty much it. It's going to be, see how sticky it is? It's a stickier dough because that's what's going to form all of your nooks and crannies. Well, your, I guess what you call them, like your crumb inside of your ciabatta bread. I don't know, some people say it ciabatta bread, ciabatta, but it all depends on what you want to call it. So now that I mixed everything pretty good inside, took me a total of what, like 1 minute? 2 minutes, a couple minutes to do this. And then you're going to take this, the rest off of the spoon, and you're going to want to cover it with a cling film or saran wrap over it. So I'm going to wash my hands and then I'll show you the next step. I just placed some saran wrap over it like this. And you're just going to want to tuck it under a little bit. And this is going to be sitting for 2 hours, guys. Now that's why I'm saying this is what's going to be the most time consuming. So do this bread when you have time. So it's going to be sitting for 2 hours. But what you want to do is you want to get an alarm or a cooking timer and set it for a half an hour. So every half hour during the 2 hours, which is going to be 3 times, so we're going to fold and pull every half hour. And I'm going to show you that method. It's so easy and it's so, you don't even have to use arm muscles for this. You're just going to fold and pull. So every half hour, we're going to set our alarm and I'm going to show you that in a half an hour. This is going to be our first turn. And it's pretty much going to be very simple. You're going to uncover your dough. Just set it aside right there. What you're going to want to do is have a bowl or a cup with water in there. Just regular water. And you're going to dip your clean washed hands into the bowl, because you got to use your hands at this point. And then you're going to tuck it under the dough, and then you're going to just lift it, pull it, and fold it over. Get some more water in your hand, turn it, get it again in your hand, lift it, pull it over. Again, wet your hand, turn it, lift it, pull it over. You're gonna do it 4 times. Lift it, pull it over. And then the first time, guys, we're gonna do it twice. So we're gonna wet our hands again, get the dough in our hands, get it up and pull it over. Turn it, fold it up, pull it up. See how the gluten's still not formed? Stretching, pull it up and over as best as you can. Get it and just kind of wiggle it in your hands and then pull it over. That's the 4th time. So now your saran wrap and place it over again, and you're gonna time it for another half an hour. So I'll see you guys in a half an hour. Now that another half hour passed, we're going to turn it again, but this time we're only going to turn it once. Look at all those nice bubbles forming. Now you get water again so it doesn't stick on your hand, and you lift up and pull towards the other side. This helps with the sticking. Turn your bowl, grab it, lift it, and pull. See how the gluten's sticking more now? It's not ripping. This is the 3rd time. Grab it and fold it over. Just like you're tucking your kids into bed. Then you grab it again and fold it over. Look at all those nice bubbles that are forming. And now you're gonna cover it again for another half an hour. And that is gonna be your last time you're gonna turn this for half an hour. See? No sweating, no nothing. So this is an easy bread. We'll see you guys in a half hour. Now this is our last time we're gonna fold this. Same routine. Now that's the last time you're gonna pull and fold your dough. Now we're gonna let it sit for another half an hour, and then that'll be the end of our 2 hours. Now, after your last fold, see how your dough is gonna look? Nice and airy and spongy. That's how you're gonna want it. So, you're gonna want an extra cup of flour on the side, because you're going to put your dough on the flour. Like I said, this is easy. You don't have to use your muscles, guys. This is something you could do while you're waiting. Look at all of those air pockets in there. See all of that? That's what you want. And that's how you're gonna want your dough to look. Get all that deliciousness out. And now, after you sprinkled your dough with flour underneath, you're also gonna sprinkle the top with flour, because you don't want it, it's a sticky dough. You don't want it getting all over your hands, everywhere. And where it's sticky, just place a little more flour on top. Just going to flatten it out a little bit. And I'm gonna take from one side, see how you have 2 sides of your dough? You're gonna take it from one end of your dough, and then you're also gonna take your other end of your dough, lift it and fold it over, and just kind of give it like a pinch. You want it kind of rectangular. And then you're just gonna do the flip. The flip like that. Like I said, wherever it's sticky, just Tap some more flour on it. No big deal. So now that you have your dough kind of rectangular and long, you're gonna cut your pieces as big as you want them. I'm probably gonna do about like 3 equal loaves. See? Cut them just like that. And I'm gonna have flour on a sheet with parchment paper, on like a cookie sheet or whatever pan that you have that's big enough to place these on, because you're going to also let these rise for another 45 minutes, and you're just gonna be kind of careful with your loaves. They're like little delicate babies, and you just get it and just transfer them and give them a little room, because look at how nice and airy and spongy they are. See that? That's how you're gonna want them. And now you're just going to let them sit for about 45 minutes. Like I said, guys, this is just all patience and time. And I'll show you what we're gonna do before we put it into the oven. Now I'm just going to take a cloth. Now I'm gonna place the cloth over my dough loaves here, and we'll just wait 45 minutes. Guys, look at, after 45 minutes, look at how big they got. Look at the nice sponge that they have on there. They're very delicate. Now what I did is, halfway during the rise, I preheated my oven to 450 degrees, and I placed like a pan. I'll show you, like any kind of pan that you can place in the oven, and I just put water halfway in there so it can make steam. You're gonna want to do that when you place your breads in the oven, because that gives it a good crispy crust on there. As well as I have 4 ice cubes here, and I'm just gonna toss these in there as well because it creates steam. So you're gonna put it in at 450 for 12 minutes. After the 12 minutes, you're going to turn it down to 400 degrees. Now I'm just gonna toss my ice cubes in there and shut it so it can create all of that steam. Okay, it's been 25 minutes, guys. Let's check these babies out. Woo! These guys are done. You guys can only smell how delicious they smell. Look at that. Crispy. Woo! Crust. Let me transfer them on the cooling rack so I can cut into them when they're cool. You need to let it get to at least room temperature. These are way too hot to cut into right now. Look at that crispy crust. I want you to appreciate that. I don't want to break it and snap it, but I want you to hear that. But this is the one I did earlier, and I'm just gonna cut into it. You still hear that? That crisp when you cut into it. And that's another reason why you're gonna want to wait as well. So look at how nice the inside is, you guys. See that? And now I'm going to taste it for you. It's so good because the outside is like crispy and chewy, but the inside is soft. I mean, this would be great for sandwiches, or even if you want to cut it up and dip it with some olive oil. So good. You gotta try this recipe. It's time consuming, but it's worth it. Until next time, have a beautiful, blessed day, and may you guys stay safe. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Bye.